Dear baseball, where do I even begin? You have been more than just a game to me. You've been the place where I learned about the hard work, patience, failure, and what it means to keep showing up even when things don't go my way. You taught me that success doesn't come from one big moment, but from all the early mornings, late nights, extra swings, and hours spent trying to get better. You showed me that the hardest moments are the ones that build character, and that every strikeout, error, and loss is just another chance to learn. Thank you for the memories, the teammates who became brothers, the coaches who pushed me, the games I'll never forget, and the moments where everything felt perfect. Thank you for the feeling of stepping onto the field, hearing the crowd, putting on the glove, and knowing I was exactly where I was meant to be. You have given me friendships and lessons that will last beyond the final out. You've taught me discipline, confidence, and how to compete, not just in baseball, but in life. I know one day I'll have to take the uniform off for the last time, but a part of me will always be that kid who fell in love with the game. The smell of the dirt, the sound of the ball hitting the bat, and the feeling of the perfect swing will always stay with me. Thank you for every lesson, every memory, every victory, and every challenge. No matter where life takes me, I'll always be grateful that I got to play this game. Sincerely, Cecil Lofton.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Dear Baseball. I'm Dave Siseski here with the Unicorns first baseman Cecil Lofton. Cecil, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you. Thank you.
So we just heard the letter. I learned some things about you that I didn't know, but one of them being that you were teammates with Dante Moore, and we'll touch on that in a bit. But
Yes.
you just came off the All-Star game here. A lot of good things coming your way. But where did this love of baseball start for you? Because you grew up in the South, right?
Yes, sir. So growing up in the South, watching a lot of baseball as a kid, the mostly where the love of the game came from was my father, my dad. He played up until indie ball, actually, kind of where I'm at now. But yeah, he was the one that inspired me, and then he actually owns an indoor hitting facility back at home. So
You had to be good,
I
right?
was, yep, that's kind of his quote that he has. He's
Yeah.
like, if you grew up in a hitting facility and you're my son, you better be good. But yeah, so I grew up kind of in the hitting cage my entire life, ever since I was 3 years old. I mean, every instructor there that's still there or working with my dad, they said I would go around in between their lessons and ask them to throw me a couple pitches before their next lesson. So, but yeah, it's kind of I mean I've grown up around the game, so that's where the love started. Is when I started there, 2 years old probably. So,
Did you had the Braves on?
oh yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
Braves, big Braves fan.
you
So
said Chipper Jones, right?
yes, that's where kind of my swing was inspired by was by Chipper,
Or
and
that's a
then
good person
yeah,
to have your swing inspired by. You can hit from
absolutely.
both sides. Have you ever tried to do switch hitting?
Okay, so yes, I did try, but we found out quick when I was young that I was actually legally blind in my left eye.
Really?
So I tried to switch it, but couldn't see. So I would naturally couldn't see, couldn't hit the ball. But yeah, I do everything pretty much right-handed, except hit a baseball, or do everything righty except hit a baseball. I hit lefty, and that's kind of the only thing I do is
No, people don't know Spencer Smith's in here, so he did not hear that. So he
no,
can't use
yeah,
that in the scouting
yeah.
report,
Don't
right?
use that one. Don't use that one.
So you have some success in high school and you make your way into college and in the JUCO, but was there a point for you or a moment for you where you're like, I'm gonna take this to the next level? I mean, I know your dad you were hitting with your dad and inspired by the Braves and stuff, but
Yes.
not everybody gets to play in college.
Yeah, so the moment I realized that, like, I wanted to make a career out of this and take it to the next level was after my 2nd year at Bryan. I, went into the summer, I played in the prospect league, and I was n had no intentions of leaving my NAI. I was loving it there. I was playing baseball with my best friend, like, who would wanna leave that?
Yeah.
But I was playing there in the prospect league and was having a good year, hitting really, really well, and before I knew it, I had some Division I coaches contacting my NAIA coaches, and I was just like, "Wow, like, this is real, like, I gotta."
Yeah.
That's kinda where it started. I was like, "I gotta take this a little bit more serious now," and, yeah, that's kinda where I fell in love with the game even more, and when I got that first Division I call and it was kinda like, "Wow, like,
Yeah.
this is real," like, and that's ever since then, cared a lot more about the game, but it's kinda it messed with me a little bit emotionally and mentally because I cared more about it, but caring more about it, there's more failure, and then you
Yeah.
feel more down on yourself without trying to. But yeah, that's where it started. The summer going into my last year. Supposed to be the last year, but
It's funny because you know, you either love baseball or you can't stand baseball, but
yes,
baseball does not care. It will bite you.
yes,
It'll give you a lot of blessings,
yes, it
but it'll
will.
come back on you as well. I mean, I always bring it up. A good batting average, we always say, is you failing 7 out of 10 times, which is crazy to think about. Was there a moment for you where you maybe almost hung up the cleats or thought about, maybe I got to stop playing?
Yes. So going into my JUCO year, I going from high school, I had a lot of success and was feeling on top of the world. And then I went to JUCO and had a reality check, and that it's not everything's about me. And um, yeah, going into the JUCO year, I didn't really play much. I was really, really struggling, um, and went that whole year without playing more than probably 10 games. And I remember after one game, I didn't play. We were walking back to the vans, and I was walking with my dad. And as we were walking back, I remember just looking at him, kind of tears in my eyes a little bit, and I was like, I don't, Dad, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. He was like, "Well," I was like he was like, "Well, if you don't feel like you wanna do this anymore, then it's, like, your decision, but I would say personally, you wait, and after this year, you can transfer, find somewhere else that you like go and see what happens then," and then
Yeah.
that's kinda what happened, and, I mean, I was at the breaking point where I was
Yeah.
really close to hanging it up, but luckily, by the grace of God and
Mhm.
His plan, I stuck with it, finished the year, and that's when I found my way at Bryan, playing with my best friend and finding the love of baseball again. It was the greatest experience ever. So,
That's awesome, man. Touch on your faith too, man. There's a lot of guys that lean on that
yes,
because,
absolutely.
I mean, the game, like we talked about it, the highs and lows of the game. But if you don't have something to lean on, it'll take your identity,
Oh,
right?
absolutely. Yeah, my faith is honestly, it's grown a lot in the past 2 years, and it started going from Bryan to SIU, where when I got to SIU, I had really great roommates, really great teammates, and we went into, Bible studies together with, his name was Barry. We called him Barry Biggerstaff,
Mm.
and so going into that with him, and we read the Bible every week with him, and my faith became very, very strong from that, and, honestly, I'm super thankful for that because it helped me realize that the game is bigger than itself, and,
Yeah,
I mean, God has a way for everything, and His plan's bigger than every plan that I could ever imagine, and I even find myself now, like, what is His plan? Like, dude, am I gonna go further after this, or am I gonna be done? But honestly, like, the way that God showed me and, like, the things He's done in my life, like, if this is it, I'm just thankful that I've made it this far,
yeah.
and I'm thankful that I've been able to do it for as long as I've done it. So, yeah, my faith has grown a lot in the past couple of years, and it's definitely helped on the field as well, like, the way I view failure is that it's not that important, like, as long as I can do everything to glorify Him, then it will all work out, so
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's funny that you talk about that because something that stands out to me is hearing the letter read from Dante Morton. He talked about that and how failure doesn't define him, and that happens to be a dude that you played with,
yes.
right? And we referenced him a little bit without going into it more, but you got to play baseball with Don. What was that like, man? Because we know he's a great player, but he's an awesome dude as well.
Yes, yes. Playing baseball with him, he was honestly the reason why I fell in love with the game again. I mean, getting to play with your best friend is one of the greatest feelings in the world. And it really, really, really sucked when I left Brian to go somewhere. And it sucked a lot, but at the end of the day, I had to do it
Yeah,
myself. But the fact that I ended up back here to play with him again, it just shows like that's what God's plans are greater than
isn't that
all.
crazy? Yeah,
It's the greatest thing ever, and he's one of the greatest guys that and, like, one of the one of my greatest friends ever and will forever be one of the greatest friends ever. So,
That's awesome, man. And do me a favor, tell him that he's awesome because
yes, he is.
he
He's
always
very awesome.
questions whenever you talk about how he's doing on the field.
Yes.
And then you look up and you're like, he's got 4 home runs, he's hitting 350. Like, uh, I think it's working out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if he watches this,
Yeah,
Dante, you are a great player, man. Like, you don't realize it, but you are one of the greatest players I've ever played with.
that's
So,
awesome, man.
keep that and run with that.
So you make your way to the USPBL. How did how'd that conversation start? And was it I imagine Dante told you about the league, right?
Yes. Okay, so funny enough, actually, um, Dante, before he came here, I was talking to Chim, and
Yeah.
we had no connection. Like, I didn't realize Jim was the manager for the Unicorns at the time. So I went to SIU, and Dante finished up his year at Bryan,
Yeah.
and then I found out I had another year. So I was talking to Jim, and that's kinda when he was like, "Yeah, I want you to come here," and, like, I didn't really think anything about it, but it was like, "Heck yeah, like, yeah, I would love to,"
Right.
but I was like, "I got another year back, so I'm gonna go back and see kinda what happens," and then I went back, finished my year at SIU, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, this is the same league Dante's in," and I
Yeah.
was like, "Holy smokes, yeah, I'm coming."
Yeah.
So that kinda it's funny how it worked out because it didn't happen because Dante was here, it just kinda happened where we were both gonna be there at the same time, and, like, it's just it's crazy how that works out, but
That is what and for people that don't know, Jim Essien, right, is what you're
yes.
a great baseball mind, right? And we were just speaking with Spencer Smith, Paul Noce, another incredible baseball mind. He played for the Cubs. I know Spencer probably knows that already, but um, having all of those minds around here in the league, what makes that special for you? Because I'm sure you can just pick things from them
Yeah.
when you have conversations here and there.
Oh, it's awesome. Having these great coaches, these great players that
Yeah.
played in their time, being able to pick their brain about the game, and it really opens your eyes about they've had a lot of success, a lot of failure, and
Yeah.
now the way they view it is like it's another day in the office for
Yeah.
'em. So, like, a loss is like, "Well, it's alright, we'll come back tomorrow and get them again tomorrow."
Yeah.
So, having them as, like, your mentors and people that I honestly still look up to and having them in your corner is one of the greatest feelings ever. So,
Yeah, and, talking about, good feelings, I know you had them this past weekend, man, home run derby, all-star game. What was that like, and have you ever been in a home run derby before?
yes, so we had a all-star game back in high school
Okay.
for our high schools, Georgia and Tennessee combined,
Oh,
and we had a, all-star game like that, and I actually participated in the home run derby that time, and cool enough, my dad was the one throwing BP for, like, all the
nice.
players. So, yeah, that was the first time I actually ended up winning that home run derby, so that was cool, but I was a lot
You
more
won?
nervous. Yes, I did back in high school, but I was a lot more nervous this time around for this All-Star game. I had some nerves flowing for sure.
Yeah, well, I brought this up, but listen, you guys won't say it, but the wind was blowing in a lot too.
Yeah,
It
yes.
was.
It
You
was.
guys still put on a great show, and, I mean, Amari Barti coming away I mean, that was a moment where you're like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
you can't yeah,
He
that's
put his
awesome
dad's
moment.
jersey on, we're like, "Alright, he's gonna win this thing."
Yeah, as soon as he threw that on, I was like,
Right,
"Yeah,
it's
we know who's
over.
winning."
Right, and it was a great story.
Yes.
But then you go and hit a home run, and we'll kinda wrap it up with this, in the All-Star game. What was that feeling like, man? Do you even remember going around the bases?
Honestly, as soon as I hit it, I kinda just blacked out. I'm gonna be honest. I hit it, and I remember rounding 3rd, rounding into home, and, like, all I could think about was like, "Wow, like, this is one of the coolest moments of my
Right.
life."
Yeah.
And getting to do it in front of a bunch of fans and a bunch of kids is one of the coolest things ever, and, like,
Yeah.
I wanna be somebody that the fans and the kids look up to one day, so being able to do that and celebrate is
I
one
was
of the
gonna say
coolest
the home
things.
run was nice, but the celly? Alright,
Celebration was probably a little bit
what
better.
were you thinking there? Were you just like, "We're just gonna do this the last second." It was a,
Yes.
I don't know, 360 dunk, man?
Yes, it was the last second decision, and I went up, and I came back down, and I was like, "Wow, this is maybe a little bit too aggressive."
It was perfect. And assist goes to Braxton, right?
Yes, definitely. Shout out Braxton for that one.
That's
Thank you
awesome.
for that, Braxton.
Well, man, you're having a great year right now. We know you got a lot of baseball left. I Spencer, as I said, is in this room, but I know you want to get that trophy there to
Yes, that would be
your right
awesome.
as well. But we wish you nothing but the best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Thanks.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.